Hare Krishna, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். அனைவருக்கும் இனிய, I'm sorry, I'm speaking Tamil. Hare Krishna, very good morning to all of you. Wish you all a happy Narashimha Chaturthasi. So may Lord Narshimha give all protection to everybody in the world, especially all his beloved devotees. Narshimha Dev is Bhakta Vatsal, very dear to Narshimha. Narshimha shows his Ugra form when the devotee is in struggle, and then he is showing his beloved loving form when we want exchange exchange with him, and suddenly Narshimha Dev is not at all ferocious to our eyes, but he is very ferocious, and then very fearful to those demons. Okay, so invoking the mercy of Lord Narshimha Deva, let us continue today discussion on the 7th canto, 5th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Canto. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magyānattimirāndasya jñānāñjana-śalākaya sakshurunmīlitam mena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayana namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tatho jayam uthirayet nashtaprayeshu apadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naishtake. Before reciting the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God and Narayana. Unto Narayana Rishi, foremost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance a class of Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to pure devotees, all the reach of to them to the heart are most completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So let us go to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. 7th canto, 5th chapter, 6th chapter. We finish until verse 5, and let us start from verse 6 today. Om Ajnānatimirandasya jñānāñjana-śalākaya sakshurunmīlitamena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Gurupakathamahim Tadhādhisvapathāntikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Śrīrūpam Sagrachādam Sagargunāthānvidam Tamsajivam Sadvaitam Savadūdam Parijarasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padhan Lalitashi Vishakānvitam Cha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhirabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Ganta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminithi Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschat Deshadarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once again, we all welcome all of you for today's session. So we are discussing the pastimes of Lord Narshimha Deva for the past 3 days. We are discussing since Monday, today being the 4th day. let us discuss further about Narshimha Lila. So far, we have discussed the 5 chapters of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Now let us go to the 6th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Yesterday we covered until the 5 verses. Okay, so now we have to go to the 7th verse. Just a minute. So Prahlad Maharaj continues his instruction to his class friends. Translation: every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years. But for one who cannot control his senses, half of those years are completely lost because of at night he sleeps 12 hours. Being covered by ignorance, therefore, such a person has a lifetime of only 50 years. So this is a very interesting verse, because here Prahlad Maharaj explains that how we are misusing our human form of life. Because as we also discussed yesterday, that labdva sudurlabam idam bahusambhavante manushyam artadam anityam apihadira turnam etatnapate anmrityavan. So this human life is very, very, very rare to get. And this has 2 qualities. One is it's temporary, and it is a very rare opportunity. So even though it is temporary, adurlabam anityam, so this is it's temporary, but this is very rare opportunity, because you can use the human form of life to go back home, back to Godhead. So one should not waste his human life, and that is the point Prahlad Maharaj is putting forward to his demoniac friends. So he is saying that every human being has maximum duration of 100 years. That too only maximum, But nobody live for 100 years, especially in Kali Yuga. It is mentioned in Bhavishya Puran that Kali Yuga, the duration of life is actually gradually keep decreasing, and it will come to a point of 50 years. So in Kali Yuga, the maximum duration will gradually become 50 years. So nobody can live more than 50 years. Even now also we see that, even if someone lives 60 years, and it is considered to be, a good life. So this is how people consider. So, this is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 1.1.10. Prayan alpayiso sabya kalavasmin hujana manda sumanda matayo mandabhagya upadrataha. You see here, it is mentioned here, O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost have but short life. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. So that Prahlad Maharaj spoke in the Satya Yuga. That's why he was referring to 100 years, and he did not talk about this point. But now, since we are in Kali Yuga, whatever Prahlad Maharaj speaks, that is only half only we have. We don't have more. Of our generation, I can say that 60, 65 years, this is a good life. So, more than that, we cannot live. Like my parents, at that age is about 80 years. And their parents is about 100, 90, 90, 100, it become like that. Even I heard that even some people live 120 years also in olden days. That they called as Puranais, 120 years, people can, if they follow the regulative principles, they can live 120 years. But actually, average it is 100 years, but in Kali Yuga, it is only 50 years, as it is mentioned in Bhavishya Puran. So, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that we have 100 years, but like since we have, for those who cannot control his senses, half years is lost in night. He sleeps 12 hours. Because you see, the one who cannot control his senses and he sleeps for 12 hours. But the one who is spiritually intelligent, and you should not sleep more than 6 hours. So for a good adult, the number of hours is mentioned that maximum 6 hours. Not more than that. You cannot sleep more than 6 hours. Yeah, of course, the children sleep more because they are in the developing consciousness. Because we have 6 stages of body, that is creation, and then birth, and then growth, and then sustenance, and then byproduct, and then dwindling, and then destroyed. 6 stages. But the children are in the developing stage. So since they're developing the limbs of the body, they can sleep more hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Even the born babies, they even sleep almost the whole day they sleep. That is all right. But we are talking about someone who is adult. So he cannot sleep more than 6 hours. But Prahlad Maharaj is saying about one who cannot control his senses. Andanda Gopi. As we discussed yesterday, Andanda Gopi means, like uncontrolled senses. That who are they? Grahavratanam. The one who is always, vrata means doing meditation or some tapasya. Grahavrata means always meditating about his house, like family and society. And those people are called as like Grahavratanam, and they have uncontrolled senses. Because of uncontrolled senses, they tend to sleep. They waste the whole night in either the sleep or in sex. That we also saw like yesterday. Nidraya hriyatenattam vivayena chavavayaha divachartahya rajan kudumba paranenava. The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night, either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. This is how the householder spent his time. So in daytime he is making money, and nighttime he is having sex with the wife or extramarital affairs, and then he is sleeping. So this way, like a Grahamevi, the one who Grahavratanam is always spending his life. So Prahlad Maharaj puts a point that 50% is gone. So you have 100 years. So now you have only 50 years because of the uncontrolled senses. Okay. And half of those years are completely lost because at night he sleeps 12 hours. Okay, that's fine. Being covered by ignorance. Therefore, such a person lifetime is only 50 years. Clear? And another point, Prabhupada put in the purport, you want to specify the point that 100 years is common for all living entities, even starting from Brahma or Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Ganesh, Skanda, whoever it may be. They live only 100 years. But 100 years is different for different planets. Like, 100 years duration is different for Earth, and for demigods it is different, and for Brahma it is different. For example, 1 day of demigods is 1 year for us, whereas 1 day of Brahma is it is 4,000 yugas. That is very, very big. One yuga, Satya, Treda, Dwapar, Kali, and this is actually called as Mahayuga, and this is multiplied by 1,000. And that is the daytime of Brahma, and that much is his night time. So you have to put 8,000 years, 8,000 yugas to say 1 day and night of Brahma, and that is actually times 360 is 1 year for Brahma. So but 100 years is actually the standard. But what is 100 years? That depends upon different planetary system. So this is a point Prabhupada is mentioning in this translation. And then 6-7. In the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaged in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is an invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. You see, we have only 50 years, and out of that, 10 years is lost in ignorance. Because, as a small children, we just in ignorance. and then with 10 years is finishing that. And another 10 years is wasted in sporting and playing and spending time with the friends, and that's how the 20 years is gone. And then in old age, last 20 years also wasted because we are invalid, we can't do much. So how much years we have? Only 10 years we have. Next verse. One whose mind and senses are uncontrolled becomes increasingly attached to family life because of insatiable lusty desires and very strong illusion. In such a madman's life, the remaining years are also wasted, because even during those years he cannot engage himself in devotional service. See, this is a very famous verse. Durapurena kamena mohena cha balisa sesham grahesu saktasya pramattasya payatihi. So this is the life of like a foolish guy, and he thinks that he is the body, and then he thinks that satisfying the senses is the aim of life. And he is put into very strong illusion. The same thing is explained in elsewhere in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that Nūnam pramatta kurte vikarma yadindriya pritaya apranoti nasadu manne. I think this is also by Prahlad Maharaj, it will come after some time. So, like here as Prahlad Maharaj says that for materially conditioned soul, like even those years are also wasted. Like out of 100 years, and how many years we have got? We got only 10 years. Even those 10 years also simply wasted, simply in the sense gratification, because he cannot engage in devotional service. So logically we have got only 10 years out of 100 years. That is only 10%, but we cannot use that 10% in Krishna service. And we spend 10 years for playing, and 10 years for developing the body, and 20 years for dwindling because of the old age, and 10 years we cannot give for Krishna. No, because that time people think that the young age is the time to make money. That is the time to make money, because when we get invalid, when we get old, we cannot make money. So fools think that no, this is the best time to make money. This is the best opportunity to make money. People think like that, and then youthful, and then they are spending their whole youthful. Prabhu, நான் கிளாஸ் கொடுத்துருக்கேன், அப்புறம் பேசுகிறேன். நான் கிளாஸ் கொடுக்குறேன், அப்புறம் பேசுகிறேன். நீ இப்போ கூப் பண்ண வேணாம், நான் கிளாஸ் கொடுக்குறேன். ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா. Okay, so yeah, so this is how the karmi people, in unconditioned state, this is how we waste our life. What person too attached to family, what person too attached to household life due to being unable to control his senses can liberate himself? An attached householder is bound very strongly by ropes of affection for his family, wife, children and relatives. Okay? Like the one who is too attached to family life, he cannot liberate himself. So everybody wants liberation. You see, ask anybody, you are happy? No, I am not happy. So what you should do? I just want to die, and I want to go back to Godhead. So yeah, you can die, but you won't go back to Godhead. Why? Because you are engaging in devotional service. No, I know Krishna knows my devotion, and I know my devotion. Likewise, they simply keep talking, and then they think that liberation is so cheap. Liberation is not so cheap, you have to work hard. Tapodivyam putraka yena sattvam. You must do tapasya. What is tapasya? Tapasya means accepting inconveniences. And if you think that, I'll have a comfortable life, I'll wake up in the morning and then chant as much as I possible, I'll work as much as I want, and I'll serve as much as I want, I cannot serve more, I cannot engage in more services. Temple is very far. I cannot go to the temple. I don't have time to talk to the devotees. So this is not spiritual life. Spiritual life means, voluntarily you must give up comforts. That is spiritual life. And if you cannot control your senses, how you can go back home, back to Godhead? Clear? So this is not possible. Next verse. Money is so dear that one conceives money as being sweeter than honey. Therefore, who can give up the desire to accumulate money? Especially in household life, thieves, professional servants, soldiers and merchants try to acquire money even by risking their very dear lives. Prabhupada has given a very beautiful purport for this particular sloka. In a conditioned state, and we think that we are protecting ourselves. Of course, those who are close to me and they know I always refer this verse, even though this is a basic verse, and I always refer this verse. Kindly excuse me for repeatedly saying this. This is for new people, those who did not know. But of course, still even we know, it is always better to hear this again and again. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So this is very important verse of Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna is defining the roles clearly. What is the role of a devotee and what is the role of Bhagavan? What is that? But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditate on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they want. So Krishna is defining the roles of the devotee and God, Bhakta and Bhagavan. There is Seva, there is Bhakta, and we have Bhagavan. So what is expected from the Bhakta? But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion and meditating on my form. So this is expected from Bhakta. Ananyas chintayanto mam yechana paripasate satatam kirtayanto mam yadantascha dridhavrata. So many verses like that. Manmana vo madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Right? So we always have to engage in the transcendental loving service of Krishna and simply meditate on his transcendental form. Tasmat sarvesu kaleshu mam anusmara yuktacha. See how many places Krishna mentioned this. That is the only thing we have to do. We don't need to do, we don't need to work hard to protect ourselves. And then what does Krishna do? To them, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. This is Krishna's role. Krishna is saying that Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. I will take care of them. I will take care of them. This is the promise by Krishna. So, but normally in conditioned state, what we think is that we have to protect ourselves. And this is a problem. This is a problem. And then, we are doing the task which Krishna is supposed to do. We are clear? This is Krishna's role. And why are you trying to take it? Why are you trying to take Krishna's role? Are we Krishna? Why we have to do this? So, the Bhakta simply need to meditate on the form of Krishna. That's it. And you have to serve him. There are three things. Bhakti also, cannot be as you like. I do serve as I like. No, it's not like that. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatriki Vinibhita. So if you don't follow Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Pancharatra, and it is simply Utpadayev, it is simply a disturbance in the society. So you have to serve accepting a bona fide spiritual master. Prahlad Maharaj was not serving Krishna as he liked. Dhruva Maharaj was not serving Krishna as he liked. Only demons, they work as they like. Brahma worship Sukracharya as he like. Yeah, he did that. Because he wanted something, he just... No. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Kurute Karya Karyavastitahu. The devotee always consult the Shastra, and accordingly we do this. Shruti, Shruti, Purana. So we simply take the Shruti, Smriti and Purana as authoritative sources, and then on that strength of Sadhu, Shastra and Guru, we serve. Yeah. When you serve sincerely like that, a sadhaka, practitioner, when he is simply practicing like this, and that is actually called as abhyasa. What is that? It is abhyasa. When Arjuna rejected that, bhakti, I mean like the dhyana yoga. When Arjuna rejected the dhyana yoga, and Krishna speaks about bhakti, you know, like what Krishna was saying. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, I think it is very difficult. You are asking me to follow these austerities, but I think it is very difficult. Anyone who has got body, controlling the senses and controlling the mind is very hard. It is just like, it is more harder than controlling the wind." So Arjuna said, "O Krishna, O Krishna, O Almighty Godhead, O Son of Kunti, Almighty Son of Kunti," Supreme Krishna Goddess said, Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. You see, the word is abhyasa yoga. Abhyasena means, you have to abhyasa, practice. Abhyasena to kaunteya, and you simply practice this bhakti yoga. You simply practice this bhakti yoga, and this is what Krishna is saying. You do abhyasa. What is that? Wake up in the morning, attend the Mangalarati, and then you chant your rounds, and then serve the spiritual master, and go for preaching or do the temple services. You simply do this. Then what Krishna do? He will protect you. And when I've seen some devotees, not some, many devotees I have seen. They will do service, at the same time they are very careful. What if someone misused me? What if, if I was given more service, he got less service and I got more service. What if I got cheated? Come on, this is not your job. If you have more service, it means Krishna is so much pleased with you. That's why you get more service. Right? You're chanting Hare Krishna mantra, my dear Lord, my dear Radha, my dear Krishna, please engage me in devotional service. And after we obtain the service, and then we complain, Prabhu, I have so much service, Prabhu, how much service I have got. Yeah, but they have time for recreation. They will go outside, they will go with them, they will go outside, spend some time, they talk, they eat nicely 3 times a day and then sleep nicely. They have time for eating and sleeping, but seva, no, they have no time. This is a problem. Because they are trying to protect themselves. Why you protect yourself? No, don't protect yourself. When Hiranyakashipu was beaten with sticks and Prahlad Maharaj was not trying to protect himself. That's what I discussed yesterday. So he should go beyond the self-protection mode. The protection is given by Krishna. Rakshaiti ti vishvasho gopritve varanam tata. Right? What is Sharanagati? So 2 things. Of course 6. Out of 2 things that I want to explain is Rakshayiti Vishvasho, Krishna will always protect, and Gopritve Varanam Tata, accepting Krishna as your father, mother, guardian, and as everything. You have to accept Krishna as everything. And when you do like that, then Krishna supplies the demands. Just like Draupadi, the moment she raised the hand and called Govinda, the dress was supplied. When the Pancha Pandavas in their Vanavasa time, when Durvasa Muni, came to Kamyavan, that time, the Pancha Pandavas had been a Kamyavan. So in the Kamyavan, when they were there, and then they were eating with the help of Akshay Patra, and that will supply food as long as Draupadi eats. And at that day, Draupadi eat, and Durvasa Muni came, and Durvasa Muni is known for his anger. The food is not there, he gets so much angry. And they are not kings now, they are living in the forest. I mean, they themselves, they themselves are collecting some flowers and, like some fruits and vegetables and then eating something, simple thing and then surviving. How they can give big feast to a person who is having 60,000 disciples? How is it possible? So they were all thinking what I should do now. That's the thing, just thinking of Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then Govinda came. And then he ate one piece of shark. Then all the stomach got full. It's called Akanta Bhojan. Akanta Bhojan means the food until here. Durvasa Muni felt like that. I cannot eat now. Yudhishthira could have prepared a big feast, but now if I go there and if I don't eat, he will feel sad. So I am not going. He just ran away. How many times we saw this? How many times? Whenever the devotees are in trouble. When Prahlad was in trouble, Narshimha came and protected. Right? There is this whole pastimes. Yeah. How many times you have seen? For the sake of demigods, how many times, Krishna appeared on the planet and protect the devotees. Right? Even he protected the demigods from his own devotee, who is Bali Maharaj. That faith he should have. If you don't have the faith, then you work like a dog and ass. Why you work hard? Because for old age, who will take care of me? Who will take care of me? Actually, Prabhupada says in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that when you become old and invalid, you should leave home. What do you normally think? Prabhu, I'll practice devotional service, but when I get old, who will protect me? Who will take care of me? No, Prabhupada says that when you go old, and you should go somewhere else. Go to the forest. And nobody should know where you are. Yeah. He is Dhira. Dhira means, completely under the shelter of Krishna. Of course, in this age, we cannot go anywhere. Just go to temple. Just go to the temple and you cannot even give some Charanamrita to people. So I am very old, I cannot do anything. You cannot give some Charanamrita. Or you cannot just sit in the temple hall and whoever come to the temple say Hare Krishna. You cannot say that. You cannot show them the books to take. Or you cannot give them the beads and teach them how to chant Hare Krishna. Oh Prabhu, I am old, I cannot do anything. What about eating and sleeping, right? Why you cannot do the simple thing? That should be the conviction. I am not going to anywhere. I will be in the temple only until I die. Clear? That's why that devotees, they don't really care about the future. Because the Brahmanas don't care about the future. Because according to Shastra, a Brahmana cannot save money for future. Because he is fully depending on the mercy of the Lord. But whereas the Karmis or Kripanas, the Brahmanas and Kripanas, opposite. The Kripanas, they are always meditating on money. They think what? They think money is honey. They say money is honey. So money is the most important thing in life. That's what people think. Therefore, who can give up the desire of accumulated money? Especially in household life. Thieves, professionals, servants, soldiers and merchants try to acquire money even by risking their very own dear. For example, the soldiers standing on the border of India, they are earning so much money, giving up so much comfort in the house, giving up the company of his beloved wife and children, and then the old parents and the village, and then they are standing in like a very difficult place. Especially I think it is Yachin. That is very minus. People cannot even live there, and soldiers has to go and stand. Some people even die. If they go, they'll die there. But still, they want to make it. They want to make the money for somebody else to enjoy, and they think money is sweeter than honey. Even they can die, but they want to save the money. But is there any profit in that? And you save money and then you die. That doesn't make any sense. But people are so foolish. They want to do this. Next sloka. Yeah, this is very, very, very important sloka that, like we always quote this verse. How can a person who is most affectionate to his family, the core of his heart being always filled with their pictures, give up their association? Especially a wife is always very kind and sympathetic and always pleases her husband in a solitary place. Who could give up the association of such a dear and affectionate wife? Small children talk in a broken language, very pleasing to hear, and their affectionate father always thinks of their sweet words. How could he give up their association? One's elderly parents and one's sons and daughters are very, very dear. A daughter is especially dear to her father, and while living at her husband's house, she is always in his mind. Who could give up that association? Aside from this, in household affairs, there are many decorated items of household furnitures, and there are also animals and servants. Who could give up such comforts? The attached householder is like a silkworm which weaves the cocoon in which it becomes imprisoned, unable to get out, simply for the satisfaction of the two important senses, the genital and tongue. One is bound by the material conditions. How can one escape? It's a very, very powerful verse. So Prahlad Maharaj, explaining the cocoon, like a silkworm. The silkworm is making cocoon, and that cocoon, it's making with its own saliva. I make something which my own efforts, and I will stuck inside that and I will die. This is the material life. I make my family. I make my house, and I purchase the house for EMI, and then I eat junk foods, and I spoil my health, and then I am associating with some wrong people, and then I am working on uncontrolled life, and all these things will form a conditioned life, like Bhakta, conditioned life. And then whatever I make, I get stuck inside, and then what I say, Prabhuji, I have no time. I know we have to chant, I'm sorry, I have no time. I'm so busy, I got stuck. And I know some devotees, they always, one devotee came to me and then he was, very sad. I asked him, why are you sad? Oh, Krishna is testing so much, Prabhu. Why? I bought a house, I cannot pay the money. But you already have a house? Yeah, I bought another one. For EMI, loan I cannot pay. It came in a cheaper price. So I bought it. Why did you buy this? When you have already house and you don't have money also, why do you buy house? If you have money, that's fine. You can buy. We don't say no. When you don't have money, when you already have a house, and because it is cheap, you want to invest money in that, you got stuck. Another devotee I know, that of course, is not a advanced devotee, is very neophyte. And then, he was always crying. I asked him, why are you crying? He said, I have no children. I have no house also, no permanent house. So I told him, you please chant Hare Krishna mantra and Krishna will provide everything. He said, no, my mind is not happy. I cannot chant. Whenever I take my beats and I just, I think of my condition. So if Krishna gives me a child and if Krishna gives me a house, own house, then I can chant nicely. Yeah, Krishna is being merciful. He gave 2 children. And then he also bought a house. And then after that I asked him, Prabhuji, how are you now? You bought a house now, you got a children now. Why don't you chant now? Are you chanting now? No, Prabhu, I got stuck now. I cannot take care of my children. I have to pay this fees, I have to pay that fees. And then I need to pay the EMI for the house. And I'm getting crazy. I don't know what to do. So, we don't have, when you don't have the properties, you said, I have no mind to chant. Now you have properties, you say what? I got stuck. My mind is not peaceful, I cannot chant. So the point is that you don't want to chant. You just need some excuse. You just need some excuse that you don't want to chant. That is called as Andhada Gopi, is uncontrolled senses. Because uncontrolled senses, the Grahamedis, attached householder is like a silkworm, you get stuck inside. And the tongue, belly and genitals, these three are actually in a straight line. The tongue is demanding and stomach is enjoying and genital is also enjoying. So when you eat more, then your semen flows, then you have to have sex. And this is how one is bound by the material conditions. How can one escape? Next verse, 7:6:14. Kutumba poshaya vishan nijadu. One who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable life for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of absolute truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. This is realization. Prahlad Maharaj, he explained, right? When he's starting this chapter only, he explained, that Jnanam, Vijnanam, two things. Of course, my Guru told me, and now I am realizing the same thing because he is observing. Devotee does not need to go through this to understand. He can just watch others. Oh, he is suffering, how much he is suffering. Yesterday I was discussing in the class also. The people who are working in the textile industry, the sales people, they have to stand more than 12 hours a day. Sometimes they even stand 16 hours just to make more money. 12 hours a day if you stand, what will happen to your health? And 12 hours they have to stand under the air condition. What will happen to your health? I earn money and then pay the money to the doctor. That's it. And this is a very powerful verse and practical verse, and and especially for the devotees who say, Prabhuji, I have no time, today Narshimha Chaturdashi I cannot come, I'm very busy. Temple is very far. I have this program, I have that program, The problem is that they are so attached. They are so attached. So they can understand that wasting their valuable life simply for the maintenance of his family. And we think what? The body is mine and the wife is mine. Again, this verse, Degapatya, Kalatradishu, Atmasanyeshu, Asatsapi, Desham, Pramadda Nidanam, Pashyanna Pashyati. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. So, this is the life of people who are not interested in the real problem of life. If you don't ask question, who am I? Why am I suffering? It's a very interesting verse. By Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know if I can find this verse. I'll try. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Sanatana Goswami, he asked this question, Kayami, this. I don't know, I'll try to find the verse. Like first question asked by Sanatana Goswami to Krishna is that, who am I? Why am I suffering? Why am I suffering? What is my original duty? And this was the question asked. Kayami. Yes. I got it. Yeah, this is Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 20, verse 102. I'm extremely sorry, I'm very tired today. Kayami, Kena Amaya, Jare Tapatraya, Ihanahi Chani, Kemane Hitahoya. Translation: Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? This is the question asked by Sanatana Goswami. This is the purpose of life. The same question asked by, similar question asked by Parishit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami also. Yes, that Ke Ami, who am I? And why am I suffering? And if I don't know this, what benefit I can get? You see, like the real benefit is actually when you know the answer for this question. That is why when Arjuna was suffering, Krishna was talking about Sankhya Yoga first. Sankhya Yoga is about all about this. Who are you? What is the original question? What is a duty? What is the material life? What is a spirit soul? And what is my position? And that is Sankhya Yoga. So this is the very important thing you have to know. Like if you don't know the answer for this question, then what is a life? But the materialistic people, they do not know. They think money is very important. Making money is so important, and they simply waste their money, waste their time only in maintenance of family, and then maintain the families, and because of that, too much attachment, they fail to understand the purpose of human life. And then, are they happy materially? Still no. The parents who work very hard their whole life simply to protect the children, after some time they get struggled because of their own children. Sometime they are telling some lies, and even taking some money, stealing some money to simply protect your family. And after some time you will get problem because of the same family. Clear? This is the story of Valmiki. When Narada Muni met, he was called as Ratnakar before. He was actually a forest like a smuggler. Whoever comes, he just stop them and take the money from them. So that's how he was maintaining his life. And because of that, so many people cursed him. They work so much and earn money, and then this guy will take away everything from them. And then he went to the, he was suffering so much. And when Narada Muni came, and then Ratnakar stopped Narada Muni, I said, no, give me money, give me all the gold. He said, what gold? I have no gold. I'm a sannyasi, What gold I can give you? No, give me something. Then he said, no, why you are doing this? You have to go to hell for all these things. You have to go to hell for all these things. Oh, I have to go to hell? Then he said, yeah. I said, why you are doing this? He said, no, actually I am doing it for my family. I am doing it for my family. So when he said that I am doing for the family, then Prahlad, Narada Muni said, then okay, all right, you go to your family and tell them that you are doing a lot of sinful activities to simply maintain the family. Ask them if you are interested in the sinful reactions. He said, okay, all right. He went to the wife. He said, no, you have to protect me. That's it. How you protect, that's your problem. Correct? If you steal money and protect, what I can do for that? But you have to protect me, I will come here. The child also said, no, you are my father, you must protect me. I cannot take your sinful reactions. And even the father, mother, they told, no, I cannot do this because I did my best. I grow you up nicely, but you are not going to work, and then you are stealing. Why I should take your karma? So nobody interested to take his karma. Narada Muni said, this is life. Even though you work for your family members, and they are not ready to take your karma. So even materially, they get cheated. See, although an attached person to material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of eternal existence, material existence. So, like in his Bhakta Samprada Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami explains why he used the word Rasa Amrita Sindhu. Bhakti is rasa amrita. Rasa means taste. Everything in the world has some taste. Don't think that only humans have taste. No, everybody has some taste. Everybody has affection for the children, even the dogs, even the cats, even elephants, even lions also. The attachment for the another state, for the subordinate. Clear? So, when you don't understand that, then we fall down. And we cannot be happy in the consciousness. Even though you are not happy, then you suffer one distress after another. Yeah, this is actually, it is called as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Bhakti is Rasa Amrita. Rasa means taste. Amrita means actually eternal. Bhakti gives the taste which is eternal. But others also give happiness, just like dealing with the father, mother, with the child and parents, boyfriend and girlfriend. So everybody has some, love and affection. So that is rasa. But this rasa amrita means eternal rasa. That is only bhakti. Bhakti is also gives rasa. Even cooking for husband also give for rasa. Cooking for Krishna also give for rasa. But husband will complain, Krishna will not complain. Husband may not like it, Krishna will always like it. When the wife of Vidura, when she gave the skin of bananas, Krishna took it. She threw the banana and gave the skin out of mistake because she was so tensed. She was giving it. Yeah. But Krishna ate it. That is pure devotion service. 1 minute. That is why he is calling us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Just 1 minute. Let's go to the 15th verse. 15th verse. If a person too attached to the duties of the family maintenance is unable to control his senses, the core of his heart is immersed in how to accumulate money. Although he knows that one who takes the wealth of others will be punished by the law of government and the law of Yamaraj after death, he continues cheating others to acquire money. Like this Ajamil story, even he went to the extreme of, betraying the wife and then, taking money from the parents and throwing the parents on the street. Like, he did all these things. Yeah. But actually, we don't need to do all these things. As we discussed yesterday, Sarvatra Labhyate Daivad Yada Dukham Ayat Nataha, because this is automatically applied. Sarvatra Labhyate Daivad. So, we obtain everything by the mercy of the Lord. You see? My dear friends, born of demoniac family, the happiness perceived with reference to such subjects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life according to one's past fruitive automatically. Such as happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor. Without endeavor. Just as we obtain distress. So you don't need to endure. Automatically things will happen, good and bad things. So we don't need to work hard. We don't need to work hard to make money. That is not the purpose of life. And anyone who thinks making money is purpose of life, and he is called as demon. He is called as demon. Yeah, Vidwan. Oh my friends, sons of demons, in this material world, even those who are apparently advanced in education have the propensity to consider this is mine and that is for others. Thus they are always engaged in providing the necessities of life to their families in a limited conception of family life. Just like an uneducated cats and dogs, see how powerful word, they are unable to take the spiritual knowledge. Instead, they are bewildered and overcome by ignorance. So you just like uneducated cats and dogs. Like I and mine, it's mine, it is. Like Prabhupada give an example, And we have boundaries, right? Singapore, India, Malaysia, and even the dogs and cats have boundaries. If you go inside the boundary and it will bark at you, that's a problem. That's how the land is divided into many sections, and this is that, that is that. They have different separation. This is me and that is mine, that consciousness. But it is just like uneducated cats and dogs. It is not suitable for spiritual life. Next verse. My dear friends, O sons of the demons, it is certain that no one can bereft of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been able to liberate himself from the material bondage at any time or in any country. Rather, those bereft of knowledge of the Lord are bound by the material laws. They are factually addicted to the sense gratification, and their target is woman. Indeed, they are actually playthings in the hands of an attractive woman. Victimized by such a conception of life, they become surrounded by children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren, and thus they are shackled to material bondage. Those who are very much addicted to this conception of life are called as demons. Therefore, although you are son of demons, keep aloof from such persons and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, the origin of all demigods, because the ultimate goal of devotees of Narayana is liberation from the bondage of material existence. You see? Very powerful verse again. These chapters are very, very powerful. Victimized, here. They are factually addicted to sense gratification, and their target is woman. See, the topmost sense gratification in this material world is unifying with the opposite sex. That is topmost. People will be ready to give up anything, even their own pride, even though their own name and fame. They can give up anything and everything simply to satisfy the senses. This is the problem of the conditioned life. And a conditioned man like this, attached to man like that, and he will simply become a plaything in the hand of attractive woman. And then we are surrounded by so many relatives, and thus our bodily consciousness increases, and then we fall down. Go to the next verse, 7:6:19. My dear sons of demon, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is the original super soul, the father of all living entities. Consequently, there are no impediments to praising him or worship him under any condition. Whether one be a child or an old man, the relationship between living entities, Supreme Personality of Godhead is always a fact, and therefore there is no difficulty in pleasing the Lord. So, because it is dormant within us. It is within us. It is just that like we are bewildered now, so we don't see this. So, Prahlad Maharaj is gradually lifting up the sons of demons. Narayana is Supreme Person. He is the father of all living entities. That's okay. But they don't realize it. Consequently, there are no impediments to pleasing him or worship him under any conditions, whether one be a child or old man. Next verse. Next is 20. How many verses in this chapter? 30 verses. 20 to 23. The Supreme Personal Godhead, the Supreme Controller, who is infallible, is Achyuta. Indefatigable, is present in different form of life, from the inert living beings, Thavara, such as the plants, and to Brahma, the foremost created living being. He is also present in the varieties of material creations and the material elements, the total material energy and the modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun, as well as the unmanifested material nature and the false ego. Although he is one, he is present everywhere, and he is also the transcendental super soul, the cause of all causes, who is present as the observer in the course of the hearts of all living entities. He is indicated as that which is pervaded and all pervading super soul. But actually he cannot be indicated. He is changeless and undivided. He is simply perceived as a supreme Satchidananda, eternity, knowledge and bliss. Being covered by the curtain of the eternal energy, to the atheist he appears as the non-devotee. Next verse. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu dayam kuruta sukrutam bhavam asuram anmuchya yaya tushyanti ajokchasah. Therefore, my dear young friends born of demons, please act in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material life, material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demoniac nature and act without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers. Yeah. Anybody can become devotee of Krishna. Shriyo, Vaishyo, Tata, Sudra. There is no bar. Even people from demoniac family, if they can become Krishna conscious, why not? Sincere people. Next verse. Nothing is unobtainable for devotees who have satisfied the Supreme Personal Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, original source of everything. The Lord is the original source. The Lord is the reservoir of unlimited spiritual qualities. For example, devotees who are transcendental to the modes of material nature, what is the use of following the principle of devotional religion, economic development, sense gratification and liberation, which is beyond all, automatically attainable under the influence of the modes of the nature. We devotees always glorify the lotus feet of the Lord, and therefore we need not ask for anything in terms of dharma, kama, artha, moksha. Yeah, mukti swayam mukundanjalim sevate. For devotee who is engaged in the service of Krishna, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all waiting in the doorsteps, in the folded hands, and waiting to serve the devotee. So we don't need to work on all these things. Religion, development, economic development, sense gratification, these are divided in Vedas as Trivarga and or three ways to salvation. Within these three categories are education and self-realization. Ritualistic ceremonies performed according to Vedic injunction, logic, the science of law and order, and the various means of earning one's livelihood. These are the external subject matters of study in the Vedas, and therefore I consider the material. However, I consider surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to be transcendental. Vishnu. Next verse. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the well-wisher and friend of all living entities, formerly explained this transcendental knowledge to the great saint Narada. Such knowledge is extremely difficult to understand without the mercy of a saintly person like Narada. But everyone who has taken shelter of Narada disciplic succession can understand his confidential knowledge. So the knowledge is obtained only by the association of pure devotees. Like when Hiranyakashipu was asking, what is the best thing according to you? Then he said one should give up the demonic tendency. And he said, if you want to give a demonic tendency, you must serve the pure devotee of the Lord. Unless you serve the pure devotees, you won't know the purpose of life. Yeah. That's why he's saying that by the mercy of Narada, I got to know all these things. Without Narada's mercy, I cannot get all these things. So he's requesting them to surrender to a pure devotee who can take shelter of him. Next sloka. 28. 3 more verses. We'll finish today's class. Prahlad Maharaj continued, I received this knowledge from the great saint Narada Muni, who is always engaged in devotional service. This knowledge, which is called Bhagavata Dharma, is fully scientific. It is based on logic, philosophy, and is free from all material contamination. The sons of the demons replied, Dear Prahlad, neither you nor we know the teacher, know any teacher or spiritual master other than Shanda Navarka, son of Shukracharya. After all, we are children and they are controllers. For you especially, who always remain within the palace, it is very difficult to associate with a great personality. Dear friend, most gentle one, would you kindly explain how it was possible for you to hear Narada? Kindly dispel our doubts in this regard. Thus end the Bhakta and the purpose of the 7th canto, 6th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled Prahlad Instruction. Instruct his demonic soulmates. Because Prahlad Maharaj has not seen Narada Muni, he is asking, from where did you see Narada Muni? Can you please explain this? We will continue the balance tomorrow morning. I'm extremely sorry, I was very tired today. So I was feeling quite tired also. Narshimha services and some preachings. A little drowsy I was having today. I'm extremely sorry for that. So tomorrow morning, we will continue from 7th chapter. Yeah, I wish you all a happy Narshimha Chaturdashi. You all celebrate a very good function today. And for ISKM devotees, you can visit the nearby temple wherever you are, and you other devotees, you can try to go to some temples, or you can practice from your home itself. Okay, so we have to fast from water until dusk. After dusk, you can break fast with some water, and then Anukalpa Prasadam, which is like Ekadasi Prasadam, which is offered to Narshimha Dev, we can take. So household devotees who have Narshimha Dev in the house, who have Narshimha Dev, deities with you, you can worship the Lord in the house itself. Okay. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Krishna Rupa Mataji. See you tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. Thank you. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any question, you can drop here. Thank you.